All gas, no break. Welcome to the show. Chris, Justin, and Mo, episode 105. Fresh off of a preseason victory and an adventure in the woods for Justin here. But
Yep.
yeah, we were planning on coming to you. Actually, me and Mo were going to record last night, but then we both lagged, and it's for the best because now we actually have something to talk about. We were just going to talk about a nice preseason victory and how the vibes were high, but Haason Reddick has now officially, it seems, requested a trade from the New York Jets per sources. We hardly knew you, Haason Reddick. So this situation kind of the situation kind of escalated. It kind of started around the time of minicamp where you know uh, where Haason Reddick didn't show up for minicamp. And at the time, it seemed kind of like, all right, he's just like, flexing his leverage a little bit. Like the Jets traded away JFM, and now, so now their defensive line is like a lot, it's a little weaker, and, there's like less of a reason for him to show up.
Yeah.
Still, like at that point, the panic level was probably like a 1. Then he doesn't show up for day 1 of training camp. Not super surprising. Also, not the most concerning thing in the world, but that probably raised the concern level maybe to like a 4 or a 5. But we're in full on panic mode at this point, I would say, with this situation, um, as Reddick has requested a trade before even practicing or like working out as a New York Jet. There's been a lot of discourse over the whole situation online, as there always is when these things happen. There are, obviously there are the people that are uh, you know, and then the Jets also released a statement for some reason that they put Joe Douglas's name on, where they basically said like, we're not going to trade Haason, and we've made that very clear, and we expect him to show up and be here with his teammates, and we will continue to fine him per the CBA until he does show up, and basically saying like, we're not going to cave to his demands, and kind of doubling down on their whole like, we don't negotiate with terrorists energy that they've kind of had throughout this whole holdout. um so now it's reached a point where it's definitely a distraction, I would say, at this point, or maybe not a distraction in the locker room, but it's definitely a bad look, I think, for Joe Douglas and for Woody Johnson, depending on his level of ownership in this. There is a lot of discourse. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, like Joe Douglas shouldn't pay him because he's done nothing as a Jet yet. Uh, and they had this handshake agreement that he was going to come here and play out the last year of his deal, and if he balls out, he gets another deal.
Yeah.
Regardless of what that was, between then and now, obviously, some things or something or some things have definitely changed, and now it's escalated to Haason Reddick not being here and requesting a trade as of today, Monday, August 12th. So, um, you know, I guess my question to you guys would be, is who do you blame for this, and like where do we go from here?
I could give two shits that he requested a trade.
I
To be honest with
kind
you,
of have a.
And why
I
is
mean,
that?
because I feel like he's just the cherry on top if we actually have him. He's
I
not like
actually,
we've been a top five defense for 2 years straight
so I
without him
actually kind of disagree, and I'll tell you why. I
because
disagree
we got rid
because,
of JFM, right?
well, first we got rid of Bryce Huff, and Bryce Huff Bryce Huff was a big part of why
That
our
too.
defense was. Bryce Huff was a big part of why our defense was a top 5 defense the past 2 years. Robert Sala's defense is predicated on the pass rush. We do have the best corner tandem in the league, arguably, but that defense is definitely predicated on the pass rush. It always has been since his days in Seattle and San Francisco, and it still is now. As head coach of the Jets. So you lose Huff, so you lose those 10 sacks, and the hope at the time was that Jermaine Johnson would continue to progress, and that Will McDonald would
Which
make a
I
leap.
think he will.
Yeah, but I think that also. I think it's also unrealistic to count on Will McDonald to replace those 10 sacks that you're losing. And I think that when the Jets went and traded for Haason Reddick, I think that was them acknowledging that. I think that was them acknowledging when they went and got Haason Reddick. I think that was them acknowledging that we need that elite pass rusher in our defense. And then, I think losing JFM also made the defense weaker. So I don't think it's a situation. I don't think it's something where we don't need Haason Reddick. I think we definitely need him, and I think there's definitely like leverage and should be motivation for both sides to get a deal done. I still think that I don't know if he really wants to be traded or if this is just him like trying to
I don't even think it's him. I don't even think it's him. I think it's his agent just trying to get into getting a deal done. And to be honest, I feel like he does.
Yeah, but the
play,
agent doesn't do that.
He
if he doesn't sign off on it.
Right, but he doesn't want a 1-year deal now. He wants an extended deal. He wants like at least 3. And
three, I think,
he's
is a
reaching
bit much.
the age of 24, but 20 he's 29 now. So he's going to be 30 in September. So, you do a 3-year deal, he's going to be 32 at the end.
I don't think that's terrible.
What are you expecting from him to give you past 30? And at the same time, I don't understand, like, is it whose move really is it? Is it like his? Do you think it's his agent or do you think it's him? Because he was so all for playing with the Jets, and now it's like he just changed his mind.
I think it's both. I think the agent, agent's probably in his ear, and I think that at this point he's reached a point like he probably went. Like I would say, Haason probably went into this. He probably thought like, okay, I'll hold out for like a week or two, and then they'll give me a new deal, and I'll show up, and that'll be that. And it won't be anything too unusual. He held out before, and he still was able to put up double-digit sacks. So it's not like he'd be like out of game shape. But I think like I think the first preseason game went by, and it was kind of, I guess you could say, as far as how Will McDonald played. I mean, Will McDonald's been having some good practices, and I thought in the preseason game, you really can't. I would say you probably take more away from joint practices than you do a preseason game, because at that point everyone's just kind of trying to make it out alive. But I would say that I would say it's probably a combination of both of them kind of pulling the strings. And I think it kind of got to a point where it's like, all right, first preseason game has gone by. The Jets are, both sides are like digging their heels. The Jets are like saying, we don't negotiate with terrorists. If you want to negotiate a deal, then you can show up. And I guess he's at the point where he's kind of tired of this, and he saw that maybe Will McDonald didn't have Will McDonald wasn't exactly lighting up the tape in the preseason the preseason game. So he probably saw like, if I really want to get this deal done, maybe it's time to take some action and,
that's good. I
maybe,
didn't think about that.
maybe,
use that leverage now.
yeah, maybe he
Yeah,
talked to his agent and his
all
agent
right.
was like, hey, you could do this.
But see, at the same time, all right, let's say we don't trade him and then he just doesn't want to play.
He
Right?
just sits out.
Right.
I
And
can't see that
he
happening,
want
though.
I don't either. And the only reason I don't is because, all right, you want a contract. It's clearly not coming from the Jets, right?
Yeah.
As so far, and you can't just sit out a year and then expect to be good the next year because you're on the wrong side of 30 now.
Yeah.
Who knows how your performance is going to be?
Yep, and teams are going to look at him that same way.
And what team right now? What team is going to pay him if he wants to get traded?
The Eagles didn't, and
the Falcons.
That was maybe. I don't know.
I don't know what team wants to pay for him.
Even if we do trade him, I don't think any team's going to give him a contract this year. I don't think anyone's going to extend it.
He's going to have to trade him to the Raiders.
I think whatever team. I mean, I don't know if the Jets will trade. I think the Jets. I think this will come to. I don't see a situation where Haason Reddick just like sits out, because if he sits out, then the Jets just like basically collect money by continuing to fine him, and then they still there, and it would basically be like nothing happened. Like, remember, like when CJ Mosley sat out in the 2020 season, like that year of his contract like didn't count. So like the Jets had like another year of team control after that. So they would just have like another year to his rights after that. So, there's leverage on both sides and motivation on both sides to get a deal done. We've talked about it before in previous episodes, how they could probably, they should probably just turn the non-guaranteed money into guaranteed money and maybe bump it up, maybe bump up the salary a little bit and throw in some incentives to sweeten the deal. And then, he could either hit the market, or he could either hit the market or re-up with the Jets. But yeah, I don't know. At this point, it does seem like he doesn't intend to. It does seem like he doesn't intend to play football for the Jets without a new contract. And I would imagine that whatever team, if the Jets do go the route of trading him, I would imagine that whatever team were to trade for him would probably have an extension in place with him, considering that of all the players that were traded that wanted new deals, and that was like the reason they were traded, every player that was traded, they signed the new deal with the new team upon getting traded. This is the only situation this entire offseason where a trade has been made for a player unhappy with their contract situation, where a new deal was not in place. So I would think that most teams are not as dumb as us. So I would think that whatever team were to trade for him next, if that does happen, would they would be proactive enough to get the framework of a deal in place prior to that.
That would make sense. But I think the simple solution to this would be
Giants did.
I think the easiest solution would just be to if this is even possible for a contract, is like just agree, like, yeah, this is what your extension will be if you hit these targets.
Yeah,
2 years, 45 million. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's more than fair. He wants 25 to 28. That would put him at 22.5 million per year. That's an $8.5 million raise from what you're making now, or an $8 million AAV raise. You make back all the money you lost from holding out, and
easily. easily.
I would say that's like a win-win for both sides. Like the Jets can probably make that work with their cap, and it's a
Uh-huh.
pretty significant pay increase for Haason Reddick. Uh, you know,
Yeah, depending
that's
on guaranteed money.
yeah, and I'm sure most of it, or at least a
Yeah,
decent chunk of
yeah.
it would be guaranteed. I'm sure that's
Hmm.
like a big thing that he wants too, especially since this is like in theory his last chance to really cash in on like a somewhat long-term deal for big
Yeah.
money in his NFL
Yeah,
career. So I mean,
a moderately
yeah,
extension. That's what it would be.
yeah. The whole argument like, oh, he's done, or I see people on Twitter like applauding Joe Douglas for making that statement, and that just doesn't really make sense to me at all. Like there was absolutely for a team that's so
He said that months ago though. He said that months ago.
yeah, but now he put it like, on a tweet on the New York Jets like official social media accounts.
Uh,
So now
okay.
it's like, for a team that's so concerned with like their PR and their image and, you know, how they're perceived online, they're really terrible at it. Like no
Yeah, they suck.
what other team has ever put out like a statement on like their Twitter and Instagram by their GM after a player requests a trade? They usually just don't acknowledge it. Like they usually just don't acknowledge it until something happens. They'll acknowledge it
Yeah.
when either a trade happens or when an extension happens. Like, have the 49ers said anything to this about Brandon Ayuk? No.
Nope.
Did the Cincinnati Bengals say
No,
anything about T. Higgins
that
when
is
when
true.
they intended to trade him? No. All this does is gives you the opportunity to look. I think it looks bad now. You already look bad. I think that what they wanted to do was they probably felt like, all right, like this guy and his agent are like kind of trying to bully us. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
let's put out this statement to show
Just
like
go,
that
go
we're
we
not
ain't
going to
bitches.
be the ones to be bullied. But it's like, listen, if you know you're not getting bullied, there's no need to put out a statement. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think that
look,
they're
the
getting
same
bullied
thing
and they know
happened
it.
with right, and the same thing happened with remember Debo when he requested the trade, and then
Yeah,
49ers ended up paying him.
yeah,
Yeah. But I think we're gonna end up
I
paying
mean,
Hassan. I think it's a terrible fucking start to his time with the Jets, but I think we're gonna end up paying him, and he's not gonna hold out the entire year.
I kind of want us to do it just to get it out the way.
yeah. Just get it. Yeah, just get it done now. Get him into camp. I don't care if he plays a single down in the preseason. I could really give two fucks less.
Like, look,
But
yeah,
just get him in there and get him in there and get him practicing, so that don't make this a thing where you finally come to a deal Labor Day weekend and then he has like 1 week to prepare for a regular season game.
and that's how players get
Yeah.
injured.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what happened the year Revis held out in 2010. When
Yeah,
Revis held out, they signed the deal like on Labor Day. They had a game a week later, and he that game was
he
pretty
was out for like
uneventful.
3 weeks.
That game was pretty uneventful. But then the next game against the Patriots, he like pulled his hamstring and he got mossed by Randy Moss, and then he like missed a couple of weeks. Ultimately, he came back and
Yeah,
he was the GOAT that he was, and the Jets went to the AFC Championship game, and no one really remembers that, or it didn't really put a damper on the season, but
Yeah.
it's something that it's something that you need to get ahead of. I mean, we've spoken at nauseum about how you should have paid Bryce Huff. It would have been easier to do. He would have been cheaper, younger, all that stuff,
Yeah.
and it would have lined up with your window of your window of the time that you intend to have Aaron Rodgers and compete for the division, compete for a Super Bowl. You fumbled that
yeah.
bag. part of me also thinks maybe Bryce Huff didn't want to come back. Like he might have just wanted to go somewhere where he could play full time. But that's neither here nor there. We talked about how you could have just done that. They go this route, and for the short term, Haason Reddick would definitely be an upgrade over Bryce Huff. But
he is an upgrade.
he is.
Easy.
But it's kind of like you made this bed, and you kind of have to lie in it now. And like you can only give Joe Douglas like so many free passes before he has to face some sort of accountability. And now, but he never talks to the media outside of like 2 press conferences a year plus making a statement on Twitter that he has the Jets social media admin,
or when they suck ass.
Yeah. So now like Salah's gonna have to answer like 3 million questions about this like every day at training camp press conferences until it gets resolved.
And then what's he gonna say? And what's he gonna say? Oh, that sounds like a Joe question.
Yeah. Talk to Joe, and it's
and
like,
he don't answer because you're never gonna get to him. He never answers shit.
Yeah, and I certainly don't see him. I certainly don't see him making himself available now. But all that statement does is like it's a bad look now, in my opinion. I think it makes you look worse making that statement. It makes it look like you don't know what you're doing, and then on top of that, if you do eventually end up trading him, because everyone knows, like, okay, so every time a player says they want to be traded, the GM always says, "Yeah, we're not going to trade him." That's pretty much what happens every time, and it's not always true. That's not always the case. A lot of times they get they either get traded or they get extended. The GM can say whatever, but at the end of the day, something is going to happen. It's not just going to resolve itself like on its own. Like something is going to happen in one direction or the other. So all this really does is gives you the opportunity to look even worse if you do end up trading him, and you get like another like 6th-round pick for him, like you got for JFM, because you're just like trying to, because you're just like you're just trying to get this headache off of your.
This dude stepped 1 foot into the facility the day he got traded for, and he hasn't even played 1 snap, and he wants to request a trade. Yeah, I've never seen some shit like that before.
Yeah, it's the arrogance.
Ever.
Man. It's the arrogance. Look, he wants to get paid, understandably so. But you have to understand how the business works. But you have to understand the business works. He's shown what he can do the past 4 years. He's phenomenal. He's like a top 5 fucking edge rusher. Easy.
Yeah.
So he does deserve to get paid. He does deserve to get paid because he put his body on the line.
And I understand that.
And he didn't get paid.
Where he's coming from.
So that's where the Jets need to be like, look, yes, we are. They have to guarantee a fucking contract on stipulation. Like, yo, if you're the same player, 100%, yeah, we're gonna pay you. But if you wanted to get paid for your work for the past 4 years, you should have stayed on the fucking Eagles.
Yeah, well, that's the whole reason the Eagles traded him.
That's the whole reason they traded him.
Because they weren't.
Because the Eagles didn't want to pay him.
Yeah, because they didn't want to pay him.
The Jets already said, we're not going to give you an extension, and he's accepted that.
Yeah, but that was...
all that was word. Like, yeah, you should be able to...
because he was like, all right, I changed my mind.
Yeah, but see, that's bullshit. That's
bullshit. It's also like a lesson like that, like handshake agreements do not exist.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't mean anything. Like
they don't.
Like Gar Snow still deserved criticism for how he handled the John Tavares situation, even though John Tavares asked not to be traded and said like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna re-sign with you guys. Like, just hold on to me. I don't want to be traded." Handshake agreements don't mean anything.
They don't.
Yeah, and like looking back on it, it's like the JFM trade really didn't make any sense at all. It was just kind of like, okay, what, like this kind of just Like this
Yeah.
kind of like for a year where you're all in, why are you trading a starter on your defense, your top
But that's
5 defense for a a draft pick,
that's
a day 3 pick in 2026?
But I think the reason for that, the JFM trade, was because we knew we were going to get Reddick. We knew the Eagles weren't going to pay Reddick, and we knew that we can get him for what, a 6th-round
I
pick.
think
He's worth
I
more.
think
He's worth more than that.
we already had Reddick at that point.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking. What's his name then? Fucking Huff going there.
No, we didn't. I don't think we had Reddick. I don't think we did.
The JFM trade, had happened.
That
it happened on
during
draft
the draft.
Day. We traded for Reddick before that,
Right.
didn't we? We traded for Reddick in like March.
No, that was after. That was after we got rid of JFM.
No, we traded for Reddick on April 1st. The draft was like April 25th or whatever.
No, that was because we lost Bryce Huff. That was when we lost Bryce Huff.
The Huff.
Right.
Yeah, so
No,
I was thinking Huff.
You're right.
And I figured, well, there must have been some talks between both teams. Like, yeah, we're basically just gonna trade Huff for Reddick.
Well, at that point it was already done. It was already like set in stone.
Yeah.
That we had Reddick. I think that when we traded JFM, he probably realized, okay, all of a sudden this defensive line is like a little thinner, and like I am needed more than I was. Like maybe before the Jets got rid of JFM, Haason Reddick was like just kind of the cherry on top, and he didn't really have the leverage. And that's when he was talking, like that's when he was saying all like the right things, how he was how he was going to show up no matter what, which turned out to not be true, and how
that was a lie.
And how he was willing to play on the last year of his deal, and see what happens, and see what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like a domino effect.
Yeah, he should have been a man of his word. Honestly, he's lost already over $1 million. It's fucking retarded.
Well, at this point, I think that he's in. I think he's in deep enough with this whole thing that I think he's kind of willing to really dig his heels in. Like, I wouldn't be completely shocked if he's not there. I'm not going to say he's going to sit out the whole season, but I wouldn't be completely shocked if week 1 rolls around and he's not there. Like what happened with Chris Jones last year, and then they immediately paid him after they lost to the to the Lions. But I mean, I think that I think Joe Douglas really and the Jets, like, they're being very stubborn about this. I think they need to kind of get over themselves a little bit. And, drop the whole we don't negotiate with terrorists act, and start a dialogue. Start a dialogue. Yeah. I'm not expecting this deal to get done today, tomorrow, or this week. But just start the dialogue, get some positive talks, and try and get this done. Like, try and get this done fucking like before. Like, let's give them at least 2 weeks to prepare for the 49ers. Like, enough is enough. This was supposed to be like, this was supposed to be like the year, and everything was supposed to be good, and you have this hanging on you, and you have this hanging over you, and then like and then it's just kind of like everything kind of just comes to all the good vibes just kind of come to a halt, and now it's like now we have like this situation to deal with, and it's like clearly the organization is bothered enough by it that they went ahead and released a statement about it. Like, that's just such weird behavior. Like, the Jets, I don't know when they're ever gonna learn, like like the stuff that they do. Like they always do things like unconventionally, and like I don't understand when they're gonna realize that their unconventionality does not work, and that they should just do things the way they should just copy the teams that are actually good. I don't know what it's going to take for them to realize that. But that's a Woody
No
Johnson
shit.
operation for you.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
And
Woody, there's no way, Woody.
I'm sure Woody has a big hand in this too, where he probably has like his number that he's like not willing to go above. So I'm sure Joe Douglas might be handcuffed like a little bit in this situation, but still, like, these were his decisions. It was his decision to let Puff walk. It was his decision to trade for Reddick, and ultimately it was his decision to take his word for it on a handshake agreement that that this would all work out. And now that it hasn't, it seems like they're just trying to save face, but it doesn't really seem like they're trying to work towards a resolution. And I think that's probably the most frustrating part. Is like there's no like I feel like anyone with eyes and a brain who's watched football can kind of see like how bizarre of a situation this is, and like they're just like completely ignorant of the fact that like this is like not a normal thing, not a normal thing, not a thing that happens to competent organizations, and that it's they're just, the Jets have just always been like so bad. It's not even just Joe Douglas or like Robert Saleh. It's been an ongoing thing that they're just so bad at like getting ahead of things. So
yeah,
it's definitely it's definitely frustrating, and hopefully it comes to some sort of resolution. If they do trade him, I hope that I was actually thinking earlier. I was like, okay, like let's say we do trade him, like what team out there? Because I'm not interested really in getting a draft pick for him. Like we got rid of a 2026 third for him that could become a second. Like I'm not really interested in getting a 2026 draft pick if we do have to trade him. I would want like a starting wide receiver in like a straight up deal. So I was trying to think of like what team needs an edge rusher that also has like a wide receiver that they could part ways with. And I don't really know. I mean, my first thought was like, oh, just trade him for Devontae Adams, and then it was like, well, they have Max Crosby, so they don't really need Haason Reddick.
Raiders.
Yeah, but they have Max Crosby. And then my next thought was, well,
who's
maybe
opposite of Max Crosby?
I'm not sure. Maybe they need someone opposite of him, but I don't really see that. I don't really see that trade happening.
No, it's not. No, it's just a shot in the dark. that was my first reaction.
Yeah. My first thought was, oh yeah, let's just trade him for Devontae Adams. Like that'll be easy enough. Then I thought, what about T. Higgins and the Bengals? But they have Trey Hendrickson, so it's like I feel like every team that, or I mean, like the Cowboys have, we can trade him for CD Lamb, but and maybe
because,
a few, maybe a few ones as well.
Hendrickson
but
is holding out too, right?
Well, Trey Hendrickson plays for the Bengals, but Micah Parsons, I don't think CD Lamb's holding out for the Cowboys. I don't think Micah Parsons is holding out, but he does have a new contract coming up, and they're going to have to pay him, so they're probably not interested.
No, I was talking about Trey. I was talking about Trey Hendrickson.
Oh, I thought he got a deal. I could be wrong, but I thought he had a deal. I didn't know he was holding out.
He was holding out. I didn't know if he got a deal yet. I know he was holding out. And that's who we could have gotten instead of Carl Lawson.
And it does look like he did request a trade a few months ago, but it looks like nothing ever came of it. And I don't know. I'm not seeing anything I'm not seeing any news about it, which I guess just means that maybe no one cares, just because it's not the Jets, and these things only matter when it happens to the Jets because they're they're an easy target, and they do deserve some blame for this.
See,
maybe
you see,
maybe not all the blame.
Right there.
Maybe not all the blame,
What
but
about
they
right
do
That's
there?
some
deserve some
fucking
blame.
bullshit.
The Jets are slow. Something we
They
gotta
are very.
We
accept
went
and
the
deal
fuck
with.
out of the goddamn news. Holy shit.
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
never
I don't
happen.
understand why it's
Never.
so. Yeah, I don't know why it's so difficult for them to stay out the news, but yeah. So that is where we
Oh, I
stand
know why.
now.
I can't say the R word on this podcast anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there are there are definitely that'll transition us to our next topic. Let's talk about the preseason game against the Washington Redskins. Speaking of R words, uh,
Oh,
so
fire.
yeah, so I mean, ultimately, it's the first preseason game of the year. It doesn't really
Justin
matter,
did not
but
watch it, by the way. Justin
I
had no
I
idea
did
it happened.
not.
I might have watched. I might have watched.
I
I
did
might
not
have
watch
watched
it.
collectively. I might have collectively watched like 10 or 15 minutes of this entire game. Uh, you know, so
I
obviously
watched
it
the whole
doesn't.
thing.
Did you? You were up in San Antonio and you managed to watch a whole preseason game.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, because
Uh,
I was waiting to check into the hotel, and no, I'm lying. I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched Braylon Allen and I
Yeah.
watched the rookies. I didn't care for the backs. I mean, the undrafted free agents. Uh, I saw some of
That's our
them.
future.
I watched the first half full. I watched the first half full. Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis did work. Jason Bradley's second year, that one drive where it was just Braylon Allen. That dude
Bulldozer
is a
Braylon.
beast for
Yeah,
sure.
he
He
looked.
is
Yeah,
definitely gonna be the RB2.
he looked like. He
Yeah.
looked very much. He looked the part. Like when he was on the field, like even at the beginning of the game.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if the Commanders like started like played any of their defensive starters at all. I don't really think they did. Maybe for like a series or two, like they did for Jaden Daniels,
I don't, but they definitely had their
but
starting wide receivers out there for sure.
yeah, but when Braylon Allen was on the field, uh,
Besides Terry
he
McLaurin,
looked like when Braylon Allen was on the field, he looked like a man amongst boys, like against the against whatever defense
he did.
the
They were
Commanders had out
showing.
there.
That's
He
good.
was he was bulldozing, he was running people over. He looked the part, and he looked like what kind of like what we were hoping and expecting out of him, like when we did draft him. So that was a positive. Olu Fashanu also had a really good game. He had like I think like one of the highest like PFF grades. Again, it's preseason, but he had like one of the best. He had like one of the best grades like of any like offensive lineman. In week one of the action. So a
Yeah, he
promising
did.
start.
He did.
A
He did.
promising
He
start for
did not
him.
let up a pass rush.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he didn't let up any pass rushes like or any pressures. So
That's
so
dope.
that was so that's a good promising start for him. Uh, no, there didn't seem to be any issues with Joe Tippmann snapping the ball. I mean, he didn't. He was obviously Rodgers didn't play,
No,
so you still don't. I mean, I feel
right.
like that's kind of died down a little bit, and like maybe they've kind of started to get
And
it the whole thing together
you know
with
what?
the snapping
And
the ball.
I've never said this before. I thought the Jets quarterbacks played really good. All of
Oh
them.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Tyrod was fine. He only
Hmm.
played like one or two series,
How was
but
Jordan Travis? He
he
looked
didn't
good
play.
too.
I like. I
Oh,
like
he didn't play.
the one
No,
that. Yeah, no, he
the
did. He did.
Adrian. Wait, Jordan
Tyrod
Travis
Taylor.
played?
He played the
No,
first
no, no.
quarter, like
Tyrod played.
a couple drives.
No, he's talking
Adrian
about.
Martinez. Yeah.
Yeah, Adrian Martinez looked good, and so did what's his name, Peavy.
Wait,
But no, Jordan Travis did not play.
Rick Peasley.
Yeah, Richard. Yeah, Richard. Andrew
No, Jordan
Peasley.
Travis. No, he didn't play. Rick Peasley looked good though. He looked really good.
Andrew Peasley. Summer of Peasley. Yeah, Andrew Peasley looked good.
Andrew Peasley. Oh, I thought
Yeah,
I thought no, that motherfucker looked like his name is Rick.
Izzy Abanaconda. Also, he had a touchdown at the end of the game, and he outplayed. He did
Yeah, he did.
marginally outplay Isaiah Davis. He got a couple more carries, a touchdown, and like 10 more yards than Isaiah Davis did. So maybe the Izzy
Okay.
Abanaconda dream is not dead yet.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Like I know that
Yeah,
for a while it felt kind of like a foregone conclusion a bit that
yeah,
Izzy would get cut and that it would be Isaiah Davis. I would still say Isaiah Davis is probably
yeah.
still like the favorite to make the team over Izzy, but I think Izzy might have like made a little bit of a case for himself. Um, Jared Bernard Converse had a really good game.
I think the only yeah he did.
Leonard Taylor also had a really good game.
Well,
One,
note that they moved him from safety to corner
yeah,
because a lot of
yeah,
people don't know that he started as a safety.
yeah, and he is now a corner. Quantez Stiggers did have he had a tackle for loss too. So it was a good good
You know who
debut for
played
him.
really good too? Jalen Key, Mister Irrelevant.
Yeah, I actually like saw Jalen Key like doing work on the field. Um, so like that's a plus. Usually you don't even see you usually don't even see the
He
Mr.
ended
Irrelevant. You
he,
usually
met,
don't even hear
he
their
ended up
name.
yeah.
So that was a positive sign.
Hmm. And he had a couple tackles for loss and a few tackles.
Ain't bad shit. I watched the next preseason game, but yeah, I couldn't watch this one. I'm
Yeah.
just hoping. Like it sounds like our rookies are
That's
actually decent.
I don't even know who we were playing. I know we are playing the. Not sure who we are playing the second game.
We play the Panthers in the next game.
Oh, is what's his name starting?
Who?
Um, isn't didn't Zach go there?
No. Zach went to the Broncos.
Oh, Sam. Sam went there.
Sam went there, yeah, but
Okay.
that was 3 years ago. He's on the Vikings now.
Oh, he went to the Vikings. All right, I knew both
He
of them
also he
dumbasses might be
also
starting.
he was also on the 49ers.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
remember he's on
you're
the 49ers. I thought one of them got traded to the Panthers, but then what's his
no.
name? The youngin
Bruh.
is still going to be
Yeah.
their quarterback, which is fair.
Yeah, Bryce Youngin.
Yeah, I thought one of them was backing him up for some reason this season.
No. No, Sam is competing for the starting job in Minnesota, and right now it looks like he might win it. And then
I mean, they don't
Zach
have anyone else.
is competing for like the third string job in Denver.
Who the
And
fuck is Denver going to start?
I don't really know because I mean all their quarterbacks kind of look like shit. Like, but it'll probably be Bo Nix just because he's like the
He's just
one.
drafted. Oh, he's the one
Yeah,
that's supposed to be the future. But
yeah,
let
just
let
because.
Zach get in there, make some fucking mistakes, and then Bo can come in and maybe be better. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, they also have Jared Stidham, who I think Jared Stidham's like ahead of Zach Wilson at this point.
Rightfully so. Not
Yeah,
like
so
Stidham's great, but
yeah, no, I
uh,
mean they both stink, and I don't know. Bo Nix didn't look particularly good either, for what I saw at least.
uh,
But yeah, it was
should
good.
be interesting.
It's good to have football back.
Yep.
We appear to have lost Mo once
Yeah.
again.
I don't know what happened. Maybe his internet's fucking up too.
Yeah, I know he said something about his internet before, like that he was fucking with the connection, and that he was hoping it would that it would stay throughout the show, but maybe maybe something happened there. But yeah, I would say probably the best part of the preseason game was just watching Braylon Allen bulldoze people. I guess
check out the highlights.
Yeah. Will McDonald like kind of had like a quiet game. I don't think he like really made the the stat sheet in the game at all. I think he had one play that like where technically he got like a pressure or like almost got a sack, but they called a roughing the passer penalty.
On him or someone else and just take him back?
No, they called it on Will McDonald, but I heard that the call was I heard it was a questionable call. So I don't know, but yeah, maybe Haason Reddick like saw the maybe he like woke up and saw the he saw we got Devontae Adams back, but maybe he woke up and like saw the stat sheet and didn't see Will McDonald's name. Was like, now's the perfect time for me to request a trade.
I think it's a fucking dumb move by him. He's following suit with Le'Veon Bell. We all saw how that shit worked out.
Yeah, there were a lot of I did see quite a few Le'Veon Bell memes on the timeline today from his famous album cover "Life is a Gamble" that he dropped moments before it was announced that he was signing with the New York Jets. What a night that was. But moving on, we got Mo back. I don't know if there's really much more to talk about. So if you guys want, we can just do our top 10 tight end lists as we continue to preview the 2024 season.
And can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Fuck.
If you were talking before, I didn't hear you, but I hear you now.
No, I wasn't talking.
Yeah. All right. You want to do the top 10 tight ends?
The top 10.
Let's do it. Give me like 1 minute.
All right. We will take
now
1 minute.
Quick question for top tight ends. Are we doing strictly like, because it's going to be for like at the end of 2024, obviously, as all of the other ones we've done, but is this strictly like yards, or are we going to like bring blocking in as well and see how they affect the run game for their team and shit? Or is it just how they produce on the offense just solely?
I mean, I'd say it's just the top 10 tight ends that you think you can factor in run. I'd say you could factor in pass blocking and run blocking if you want to. That probably, that wasn't really, because I feel like tight ends don't block as much as they used to.
That's fairly true.
In today's NFL. So, when I made my list, like that wasn't that much of a factor, but if you want to factor in blocking, like, that's part of the game too. So you definitely can. Like, there's no real, there's no real like criteria for this or like rules. It's just kind of like who you think the top 10 tight ends are. So if you wanted to put Jeremy Ruckert number 1 because like you think he's the best run blocking tight end in all of football, like, there are no rules against doing that. We will roast you and we will call you crazy. But you're technically allowed to do that.
We will roast you after the podcast and definitely let you know.
Oh no, we'll roast you during it too.
And during, but we'll try to keep it PG-13, maybe rated R, but not to the
Listen.
top level of what you might not expect.
This is an R-rated podcast. When I post this thing on YouTube every week, one of the questions it asks me is this made for kids? And I say no, it's not made for kids. So
Fuck
this
it.
podcast is rated R. If you
All
are,
gas, no break is for the children.
It is. It's supposed to be for the children.
we are for the children, but also like maybe ask maybe ask your mom or dad just so like we don't get in trouble. I don't know. We're sorry. We don't have a parental advisory and edited version for you. But I don't know. Yeah, I guess a parental advisory sticker might be necessary because sometimes profanity can be used.
Man.
Just a little bit.
Y'all curse. Y'all curse.
It's hard.
A lot.
Yeah.
No.
yeah, we do. Yeah. Justin's
You're
the
in
one.
this podcast too.
Justin's the one who's trying to help us reach the younger audience. Actually,
Yeah, man. Trust me, they love it when I drop the M-Bob on here.
Oh man. yeah, they love it when I have to edit the podcast for no reason. Anyway, without further ado,
Yes.
top 10 tight ends. Let me pull up the spreadsheet.
All right.
This is a dumb question, but Justin, I assume you do not have a list ready.
Nope, no list. Let's go.
All right.
That's insane.
So
yeah,
so
no list.
All right. All right. Should we go 10-1 or 1-10?
I'd like to do 10-1.
Let's do 10-1. It's
right,
your own.
10-1.
It's your own fault for not making a list.
Let's see how good I do.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna make it easy for you. You're up first.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right. All right. I gotta think for a quick
Hey
second.
man, watch the language. There are kids watching, according to you.
Yeah. There are.
Shit. All right.
And we've just been demonetized.
we
We were never monetized to begin with.
I was gonna say we haven't been monetized since we started.
No.
All right, my 10.
We do
is
this for the
gonna
love of the
be...
Yeah, we do.
All right, wait, because y'all had some time to think, so I gotta ask
yeah.
this question: should Brock Bowers be on this list?
I'm not helping you.
I'm
considering making him 10.
This is your list.
I know, but I haven't fucking put any thought into it.
No shit.
Fuck it. I'm gonna keep Brock. Nah, but he might do work. Fuck.
It's possible.
It is very possible.
Just so you know, I'll help you out a bit. They do also have a tight end that they drafted last year in the first round, Michael Mayer.
Oh, so time might be, but I think he's gonna excel over them regardless. He'll be an honorable mention. I'll give him an honorable mention. I think I could.
He did some work in preseason.
Did he? I mean, look, I do expect him to do work. I do expect him to do work. I just don't know.
A little bit.
Well, if he does work, it should be fucking top 10 work.
No, I don't know about that.
It should be. I don't know. I'll make him an honorable mention. My 10 will be Kmet.
Kermit's a bitch. I said it. Kermit's a bitch. Motherfucker hate to say that Kermit's a bitch. Pussy ass goddamn frog coming out of pussy ass Sesame Street. All right. I
That was for the
will
kids.
go every time I hear a goddamn frog, the Reese's on the spot. I'm here to tell you why. Kermit's a bitch. Sorry. My number 10 is Trey McBride.
Trey
Ooh.
McBride. He's on the Cardinals.
That is correct.
All right. Trey McBride. Ooh, that's actually I didn't even think about that. Huh. All right. Mine is Dallas Goddard.
Ooh.
You're in the Matrix.
I think
A little
Goddard's. I mean, he's more than I don't know, top 5, top 10, but I ain't give him 10. But I'm up now for 9.
Wait, what did Mo say? I didn't hear him.
Dallas Goddard.
Dallas Goddard. All right. Number 9.
My 9 will be who's that fuck me. The Texans just got the Cowboys tight end. Who was their tight end before?
Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, that's who they didn't they just get him this in the offseason?
That's who the Texans got last season.
Yeah, they've
Last
had him.
season. Oh, so they had him last season. Okay. Fuckity fuck.
Any day now. I want it to be an hour.
I think we might be over that already.
No, we're not. You got 3 minutes.
Oh. My 9, I'll make fuck.
Come on, Craig. Stimulate your mind, man.
So you're asking who the Texans tight end was before Dalton Schultz?
Justin's doing his tight end top 10 on the spot, which is insane.
I mean, did you expect? Did
We
you expect
should just do
anything?
ours. And no, you let him do his, and then we'll do ours after.
Yeah, this is your punishment for
No.
not coming prepared.
I'll get through it. I'll get through it. I just gotta think the fucking tight ends, man. I ain't got tight ends on my goddamn head.
Yeah. In 2022, the Texans did not. The Texans did not have tight ends in 2022. They had Jordan Atkins, Anthony Auclair, Pharaoh Brown, Nick Eubanks, and Seth Green. Nobody knows
fuck
who
all
any of
them.
those people are.
Fuck all them.
This is great. This is riveting radio. Really just keeping everyone on edge.
All right. I'm gonna put 9 as
Hurry up.
Evan Ingram.
Oh.
EE at number 9.
Interesting.
I guarantee you that's just like the first name that came to mind.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to work back. I feel like I have my top 6, so when we get to 6, that should be good.
Should be. My number 9 is going to be Dalton Kincaid.
See, I have him higher.
So I have way higher.
they have no wide receivers unless Keon
Exactly.
Coleman ends up being really good. I think Del Kincaid's going to get like 50% of targets.
You want me to break mine? I have him at 2.
Damn, 2?
Wow.
Nah, I ain't giving him 2.
Well, he's my number 9 as the way the board shook out. He's my number 9.
Okay.
All right,
But yeah, I
Who's
think
yours?
he'll be really.
My,
I do think he'll be really good though.
my number 9 is Pat Fryermuth.
Muth.
Mhm.
He
That's
probably will do some work.
that's what the kids in Pittsburgh say whenever he does something.
Yes, that is true.
All right, Justin, number 8.
Oh, wow.
We're moving too fast for Justin. Justin thinks like 5 minutes.
Yo, I'm not even like thinking who my H should be while we're fucking talking.
Yeah,
Man.
I guess now we've reached the
I
thinking time, so we'll have
guarantee
5
you,
minutes of dead air, and then we'll get an answer.
Justin would be the worst on radio. It would be the worst.
Nah,
It
because
would
I'd
be
be
like,
prepared.
man, I could tell
You
you, I
say
could
that.
tell Justin the whole story about how I lost my phone in San Antonio and got it back, and he still wouldn't be able to pick his 8th tight end.
You know what? I think we have some time. Why don't you tell that story for the people? And Justin, whenever you have your number 8 tight end, just say it. This is a
Shit.
good story, actually.
Oh man, fuck. Let me see. I've really got to think.
Man,
No.
I guess I can take a smoke break.
I'm at 8, right? Yeah, 8.
Number 8. Mo, I could tell the phone story for you if you want, or I could try while we're waiting. But yeah, so all right, so Mo's not here right now, so I'm just gonna start telling the story, and then yeah, whenever you have your 8, just say it. But yeah, so Mo went to San Antonio and he saw George Lopez live. Said it was a really good time. Then he was
Yeah.
trying to get a ride back to his hotel after the show. Ubers said they were like on Uber. It was saying like it was going to be like 45 minutes till a ride would be like available. So some random dude asked him if he needed a ride. So he was like, "Fuck it, yeah, I'm down." So they get in this person's car, and then he drives them back to the hotel. Mo, you should take over. I feel like you know the details a
Yeah.
little better.
And then so my girl takes a picture of the guy's license plate because like we don't know who he is, and he's just like a random taxi driver. So she takes a picture of his license plate, and we get out the car, and I asked her, I was like, "You have my wallet, right?" And then I was like, "Do you have my phone?" She's like, "No." I was like, "Oh shit!" And he already had taken off. So I lost my phone, and it was on vibrate because we're at the concert. They tell you put your phone on silent or vibrate or whatever. And like she's more worried than me because I have like all my information on there. And we go back up to the room. And,
Kyle Pitts.
oh shit!
Kyle Pitts.
See, we got, and we'll continue. We'll continue the story. I remember where I left off. Kyle Pitts is what, 8?
8.
Yeah,
That's where I got Kyle Pitts. I got Kyle Pitts at 8.
I do not have Kyle Pitts at 8. I have Brock Bowers at 8.
Oh,
Uh,
The whole time I was like, Justin's not even thinking about a number 8. He's just listening to the story.
I thought he was just listening.
I was for a minute, and I was like, wait, hold on. But now seven. Wait, who's my 10 again?
Your 10 was Cole Kmet.
I probably should have made him a fucking an honorable mention.
HM.
Yeah. But my 7, um 7. Come on, there's got to be someone.
Somebody said my 7 already.
Shit, I probably could have made Evan Engram.
I'm gonna be on the Jets, by the way. I'm gonna be on the Jets soon.
You're gonna be on the Jets?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're saying a Jets tight end? You wildin'.
Devontae Adams.
That's against the rules.
No, it's not. There's who? Fuck the rules.
My 7 will be Goddard.
Go really?
Yeah.
Huh. That's not a bad act. That's not a bad pick, actually.
I'll take Goddard there.
My 7 is your guys' 8, Cal Pitts.
Kyle Pitts.
Huh. All right. My 7, and I think this ball is going to be spread around a lot. I put Dalton Schultz at 7.
I think I have to put him as an honorable mention already because I fucked up.
Well, I already knew that was.
You don't say. All right, well, Justin, we're at your top 6 now, so it should be,
the 6 is easy.
Well, I guess I'll take a 5-minute break because I know he's going to take.
No. Top 6 is easy. I have to put 6, even though they got no quarterback at Hawkinson.
Number 6, TJ Hawkinson.
You put him at 6?
Hawkinson, yeah. Hawkinson. 6'8", weighs a fucking ton.
6. No quarterback. That's why. If they had a legit quarterback, I might put him over my 5. But I would have put him top 4.
What are you talking about? They have Sam Darnold.
Yeah, like I said.
All right. My number 6 is your number 10, Cole Kmet.
Oh.
Kermit's a bitch. I said it. Kermit's
all right.
Kermit's a bitch.
Okay.
Shit.
You're number 6. I got number 6. I have George Kittle.
Kittle.
Ooh.
All right, we are in the top 5 now.
Top 5. My 5 is Kincaid.
Dalton Kincaid, number 5. My number 5 is TJ Hawkinson.
Ooh. All right, we're close. Wait, Justin, what was your number 5? You said
what's it? Kincaid.
Kincaid. Okay, my 5 is Jake Ferguson.
Ooh. That's an interesting one. I was thinking about him. Number 4.
Number 4 is Laporta.
Sam Laporta. My number 4 is George Kittle.
You see, this is where I was talking about the blocking and shit.
My number 4
This
is T.J. Hawkinson.
Damn, yo, wildin'. How you gonna do work? How you gonna do work when he can't? When he's got to fucking dive for the ball?
You freestyling.
The people who prepared lists. It took me like 5 minutes to make my list. By the way,
it took me like a good 5 to 10 minutes. I even got honorable mentions.
Yo, if like skill and talent wise, I'd say Hawkinson's definitely top 4, but he's got no quarterback. 3, I'm gonna put in Mark Andrews. The top three, I think should be the same, but we're clearly not because you already chose Kittle.
Yeah, my number 3 is Sam Laporta.
My number 3 is also Sam Laporta.
I got him at 4 behind Andrews, man. Behind Andrews. 2.
I don't even have Andrews in the top 10.
Nigga, you wildin'. You wildin'.
That is kind of wild.
2, I have as Kelsey.
Oh. Number 1, Jeremy Ruckert. I knew it. All right. Well, my number 2 is Mark Andrews.
You already know my 2. Dalton Kincaid.
Number 2 is Dalton Kincaid.
That's fair.
All right, Justin.
Ish. 1.
They don't have receivers.
Yeah, I know. That's why I put Kincaid at 5.
That's why I put him at 2.
Eventually, defense is going to realize, hey, let's let the receivers roll more than the fucking tight end.
Dude, who's your number 1 receiver? The rookie, Keon Coleman? Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly my point. And then
stop
Dawson,
the run game. Stop the run game. Stop the tight ends.
And I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a down year this year.
Never.
Saying.
Don't speak that blasphemous shit.
The last time he won the MVP, next year sucked ass.
Yeah. Well, there was this thing the following year called the coronavirus that kind of messed everything up.
True.
That too. But guess
Lamar
they were in the dome.
I think he's been getting better ever since. And next season, he's really gonna. I think he's gonna light it up.
Yeah, now he has a real running back, and he has a real running back now.
Derrick Henry, that's my number 1 running back.
And somewhat real receivers.
Be running them options with Henry. My 1 is Mo. Mo, can you hear?
Yeah.
Kenny Yeboah.
All right, I'm penciling it in.
Nah. George Kittle.
Kittle number 1.
And that's where I bring in what he does for the run game.
You said your number 1 was Kenny Yeboah?
No.
I think Hecker. I think we need to find a new one. What is Paul available?
Barely.
What days is he available?
Barely any of them, from what I understand. But yeah, I mean, we've been talking. You know, Justin's been on the hot seat like longer than. Pretty much longer than any podcast co-host in history.
Just about to get the boot real quick. Wait, who's your number 1? I didn't hear it.
Kittle.
His actual number 1
is number 1.
George Kittle.
Yes.
That is putting a lot of.
I'm pretty sure you can tell who the fuck mine is. So.
But my reasoning is because he does impact the run game as well as the passing game just as effectively.
Okay,
Just
but there's also an issue of availability.
Yeah,
that
is
that
putting
that
a
is
lot of
fairly
faith in him.
true.
That is
That
putting a
is
lot of faith
fairly
in him
true.
staying healthy.
You didn't think about that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how healthy he is this season. Because last season was like his most healthy season in years, I think. I don't think he was out long last season at all. I don't think he was. I don't fucking remember. But I'm pretty sure he played most games.
Let me Google that for you. George
Let me
Kittle.
see if I was right about that.
2023.
I'm pretty sure he was healthy most of the season.
Let's see. Yeah, he played. Let's see. Yeah, no, it looks like he played every game.
Every game.
He did. I guess Mark Andrews kind of took his place last year as the injured guy. But
which actually, Isaiah Likely, the backup for Mark Andrews, looked pretty damn good.
he does. Yeah, he does. I am buying the bounce back year for George Kittle, or not George Kittle, Mark Andrews. George Kittle doesn't really have a whole lot to bounce back from, other than like doing absolutely nothing in the Super Bowl. He had 2 catches for 4 yards in that Super
All right,
Bowl.
you want to do honorable
that
mention?
blocking.
Yes. So, I guess it's pretty obvious that me and Mo have Travis Kelce as our number ones.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions, 3 honorable mentions.
11 and a half, Mark Andrews.
All right, we got for Mo, we got Mark Andrews. Who else?
Cole Kmet, 12.
And
Brock Bowers.
You get one more honorable.
And Brock Bowers.
Yep.
And I got another one. Tyler Conklin.
I got an honorable, but I don't think
I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
My honorables are I already said Brock Bowers is going to be one of them. Njoku and Schultz. I probably should put Ferguson over Njoku, but fuck the Cowboys.
I respect it.
I don't understand why you hate the Cowboys. You sound like a Giants fan.
I don't particularly like them. But my honorable mentions are actually almost the same as Justin's. I have Jake Ferguson, Dalton Schultz, and David Njoku.
I think Jake Ferguson's going to be fired this year.
He might be, especially if CD doesn't really want to play without a new contract renewal.
Yeah, I think
they also lost part of their O-line.
That's the only receiver. That's the only receiver, and then the tight end. Who else?
Dak's going to be under more pressure. Dak's going to be under more pressure this season. His O-line's not as good. Is he going to be able to fucking
bullshit? They always have a good O-line.
They already have Tyron Smith's replacement, and his name is just Ty Smith.
Yeah, Tyler Smith from Tulsa.
He was standing on a corner in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I don't know that song.
Justin doesn't know that song because that's white people music.
That's too white. That's too white for Justin.
Too white. Do you know where I was this weekend?
And the only reason I know it is because I'm here.
Justin was at the Field of Dreams, a winter wonderland, if you will.
It was a wonderland.
The 85-year wonderland.
The 85 Bears. What a historical great what a historical great defense. The 46. You know, I think
Yeah.
I
I
know
think
that
it's
was
about
great defense.
I think it's about time the 46 defense makes a comeback. And this is our comeback to the podcast scene. This has been episode 105. Thank you all for tuning in. Last episode was our most viewed episode in a while, so we're going to try and keep that momentum going. So make sure you hit the comments, and subscribe. I'm going to put our Twitter and our Instagram handles here respectively, so you can follow us there. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and like it and comment and share
Subscribe.
with your friends. Subscribe, and yeah, pay Haason Reddick. You didn't trade him. You didn't trade for him just to trade him again. Pay him.
Overall,
Get something
just
done.
pay him. I mean, what more does he want? Like $5 million? Really? Just pay him.
Yeah, just give him his money. Woody Johnson, you have enough. I went to Jets training camp 2 weekends ago at this point, I think it was. And I went to Jets training camp 2 weekends ago. Now, they make the training camp tickets free, but the way they get you is with the store there. And I dropped like over $200 at the store. So don't tell me you don't have the money. Don't tell me you don't have the money to pay Haason Reddick. But I do want to show you a cool little thing that I got from the store that we'll be using for the season coming up.
Oh, exclusive.
That's it.
Exclusive. What the hell is that?
Are
Is
those
that all the
full?
AFC teams?
That's
Is
full
that
balls?
all the
It's full.
AFC teams?
And all
Oh
the
shit!
NFC teams.
That's dope. That's dope.
It's an
That's dope.
NFL. It's like an
All the
NFL
helmets.
standings board with all the helmets, and you can like arrange it in the order of what the standings are. I've even been keeping up with updating
That
it
is
during
dope.
preseason. So we'll be
Dope.
using that. Hopefully, my big fucking head won't block the view of that too much. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys that. But that was one of the cool things that I got from Jets training camp. So yeah, don't tell me you don't have the money to pay Haason Reddick, because I
They do. They do.
I certainly give you enough. So that's gonna do it for us here today, and we'll see you next week. Unlock the swag, unlock.
Relax.
Peace.